Yeah. Now, as I just explained, okay, I have nothing more important in my life than my 5 sons. I have no obligation to be employed. You could put me in jail for back child support, but you'd get sued for that. There is nothing that I have in this life to do that is more important than getting my 5 sons. Do you understand, Sheriff? Now, the court finds based upon the court record. The court has jurisdiction over the parties, the minors, and the subject matter. Respondent had reasonable notice and an opportunity to be heard. Notice of this hearing was served on the respondent by personal service, service by mail pursuant to court order, yes, service by publication pursuant to court order, other. Respondent received actual notice of the hearing. Respondent was or was not present at the hearing. This order is issued in accordance with the full faith and credit provisions of the VAWA 18 U.S. Code 2265. Now you'll notice, right, that this box wasn't marked. No, this one wasn't marked. Yes. This one wasn't marked. Oh, this one wasn't marked. There was no other form of service? Yes. Now, if it wasn't personal service, right, and if it wasn't that you didn't mail it because I didn't have an address, though you kept sending it to 1023 Kitchen Dick Road, yes, and you didn't put it in the Swim Gazette like you had in 2013, what other way could you serve somebody? Well, there must be some other way, yes. Now, they have that marked there for a reason. Yes, if it wasn't personal service, service by mail, or service by publication, there must be a reason that you have to serve the respondent before having court hearings. Well, why don't we ask the judges of the United States of America? How else can you serve somebody? Personal service from sheriffs and police officers. Right. I have a copy of the instructions here. Yes. It does say that the law requires personal service. But for some stupid fucking reason, you don't think that the laws of the United States have to be enforced. So we're going to spend the next few years together, and you're going to teach me the lesson that you can violate the laws of the United States and that I, as an American citizen, have nothing to say about what you do. I'm never going to be able to sue you. I won't be able to ask for the death penalty. I won't be able to put in prison America's law enforcement because you, as a judiciary, decided that I do not have any rights as a father. You decided that, didn't you? Well, I'm going to decide that I do. Oops. And that I'm going to spend every day telling you what my rights are. Now, here's an example of a right. I was scheduled to go to court on September 28th of 2018. Yes. I was to appear in court at 2 p.m. My public defender called me on September 24th, yes, at 4:40 p.m. and said, well, the county clerk made an error and we don't have to go to court on the 25th. Yes. I said, well, I wasn't going to go to court on the 25th. My next appearance date was for the 28th. Yes. Now, I have looked online and I don't see where there's another court date scheduled. You decided that you would make me go to court for over a year. Yes. Because you arrested me in September 19th. And you transported me across county lines when the police department did know that I wasn't in Brendan, Washington on June 16th of 2017. Now, the police chief Port Townsend, Sequim, and Port Angeles have all decided that I'm not going to sue them for the wrongful arrest of a crime I didn't commit because they're law enforcement and I'm an American citizen. Now, as I mentioned, okay, we can sit on all these lawsuits for years. We can sit on them. Oh. You can continue to deprive me of an attorney. Yes, you can continue to deprive me of my rights. But you will never convince me that there's anything more important than my 5 sons. Now, you've had this tremendous way of handling problems, Chief of Police. And your way of handling problems was you would deprive Americans of their rights. You would obstruct my right for suing you and every officer in the Port Angeles Police Department for having any knowledge, yes, of, here it is, Monday, September 24th at 4:40 p.m. Yes. I haven't heard from my public defender. No one rescheduled a court hearing. There's no need to keep me informed as the accused or the defendant of exactly what is happening in this case. Now, as I look at this, yes, what other way is there to serve somebody before there are court hearings? They put that box there for a reason, didn't they? Yes. You could email them. How do you have proof of service prior to having court hearings? There's a form you have to fill out, isn't there? I mean, we went through all the different protection orders. Yes, I gave you copies of the actual forms that are being used in the state of Washington. They put those boxes on the court form for a reason. Yeah. It's called due process. And the due process that you say that you do not have to guarantee happens to be keeping me from my sons. And every day I inform you of what the actual requirements of the law are. You keep saying that I'm crazy for thinking that as a father, yes, that I have rights that are not being enforced. Now, when I explain to you, I really don't have anything more important in life, yes, than being able to have custody of my sons. I'm absolutely sure that you need to understand what is important to me. Sheriff in every county of the United States. Do you know what's most important to me as a citizen of the United States? Parenting my 5 sons. Now, for the last 2.5, almost 3 years, no, I've told you it's against the law. You decided to make up stories. You decided to cover up your crimes. You decided to deprive me of my sons. You decided that I had no rights. You decided that I had to do all of these things that you decided when I decided that there was nothing more important than being a father. Now, at some point, somebody's going to decide that the law is more important than being sheriff. See, you might have a badge, but you don't have the law. Oh, the law, well, you really don't. Just because you have a badge, you are not the law. The law is written in the state of Washington, the RCWs, which the law is what's used to write the instruction forms, which the law is what is. I have nothing more important. There's nothing in this life that is more important than fathering my 5 sons. Nothing. There's not a job. There's not an item. There's not a car, a house. Sex is not more important. There's not a fucking thing more important than being a father. Do you understand? Now, congratulations on your election. Okay. We'll sit on these lawsuits until you decide that you are going to acknowledge my rights as a father, and then you're going to remove your protection orders because these little boxes that you thought were not important, each one of them requires an action on the part of the court. See, personal service means that somebody would have had to serve me, yes, and the RCWs would have required timely and proper service of court hearings. These requirements of law that you say you don't have to enforce, you do have to enforce them. This service by mail pursuant to court order, you can't just send it to somebody without somebody issuing a court order, yes, for each of the mailings that take place. Because you can't. It has to be by court order. So the word pursuant means that you as a court have to order it. Now, I'm just making sure, okay, that you understand there is nothing more important in life than parenting my 5 sons. Nothing.